Welcome to Friday the 13th YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about a new release on Atomic Fire Records. The band's called Oblivion Protocol. We've just released an album on the 18th of August. It's a really cool progressive rock metal album. Check it out, metalheads. Now, this band was put together by Threshold's keyboard player, Richard West. Now, he's been with the band for 30 years. Now, according to the band's biography, the record companies, they said they're a cross between Rush, Steve Wilson, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd era, and also the band Ghost. But you'd be asking, who's in this band? Well, joining Stephen would also joining Richard. So you're probably asking, who's in this band? Well, besides joining the band with Richard, would be. So you're probably wondering who's in this band besides Richard. We'd have Ruud Jolie Within Temptation on guitar. We'd have Simon Andersson, DARKWATER on bass guitar. Great band, DARKWATER. And we'd also have Darby Todd, DEVIN TOWNSEND on drums. So it's a pretty interesting lineup we've got here. With special guests from Carl Groom from Threshold also doing some guitar solos. Now, Richard would be handling the vocals and keyboards on this album, so it's interesting to hear a keyboard player doing main vocals. I'm presuming that Carl Groom has produced this album because he does a lot of albums for Threshold. He's a fantastic producer from the London area. This album has a fantastic production. Like I say, Carl Groom's been involved with this album. It's going to sound fantastic. So this album only contains 8 songs. The songs on this album are The Fallen, Part 1, Tormented, Public Safety Broadcast, This Is Not a Test, Storm Warning, Vertigo, Forest in the Outfall, and The Fall Part 2. So there's the songs on the album. So I'm going to talk to you now briefly what I think the album sounds like, what I think about the songs. Now, the opening track, The Fall in Part 1, this is pretty much like Pink Floyd. It also reminds me of Yes, with hints of early Marillion. So if you're a fan of Marillion, Yes, also Pink Floyd, this is a song that you're really going to enjoy listening to. It's a very chilled out song for an opening track for the album, but it fits in really well. The album does get more progressive and heavier at times. Now, the next song, Tormented, this is pretty much a more up-tempo song. It's still got the Yes and the Pink Floyd vibe to it, but it also has some Marillion. It also has a little bit of Dream Theater. Also has a bit of the Flower Kings. So you're getting a sense of what the album sounds like. It's more progressive rock than it is metal, but it's still a really good song. Richard's vocals are really good on this song. It's called The Tormented. It's a really cool song, catchy in places. It's more up-tempo than the opening track, which is more of a chiller song. Now, the next song is called Public Safety Broadcast. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Porcupine Tree, something that Stephen Wilson would do. It's a really well put together song. It does have some fantastic elements in there, progressive rock, lots of twists and turns, but it's a really good song put together. But it's not a really heavy song. It's got some heavier parts, but it is pretty much progressive rock. Another band that springs to mind when listening to this song is a band called Enchant. Now, these guys did about 4 or 5 albums, maybe more. They've been quite quiet at the moment, but Enchant are a band that I can listen to on this song. Next song is called This Is Not a Test. This is probably one of my favourite songs on the album. It's very catchy, up-tempo, very progressive in places, some great keyboard playing, guitar solos, and rhythm section. All around, it's a really cool song. So if you like the up-tempo stuff, then this is a song for you. It's called This Is Not a Test. Next song is called Vertigo. This is like pretty much like Yes, but it also has elements of Opeth, especially with the guitar solo. So that's another band that springs to mind. So if you like Opeth for the mellow stuff, mixed with the bands I've already mentioned, this is a really cool song and a really good album. So the song's called Vertigo. This song is called Storm Warning. Next song is called Vertigo. This is more like a laid-back song, probably by something like the Flower Kings. So if you like the Flower Kings, Transatlantic, and bands like that, this is a really cool song. It's mellow. It's pretty well put together. And like I said, there is a lot of Pink Floyd in this album, as well as hints of Yes. Next song is called Forest in the Outfall. This is a really up-tempo song. It's got more of a vibe of Dream Theater in places, a little bit of Fate's Warning, but it's definitely got the vibe of Yes, Marillion, and other great bands. Next song on the album is called Forest in the Fallout. This is a more up-tempo song on the album. Like I said, there's a couple of previous songs that I mentioned that have got up-tempo beats. This is one of them. It's very much influenced by Marillion, but heavier. It's got a really interesting dark approach to this song, but it's a really interesting song. So if you like your prog rock with dark elements, this song is called Forest in the Fallout. Really cool song. Check it out. And the last song is the Fallout Part 2. This is an outro pretty much. It's a nice relaxing song to finish the album. All in all, this is a pretty good album for a debut album. I'm looking forward to see what they do in the future. But if you want to check it out, guys, the band's called Oblivion Protocol. They've just released the album on Atomic Fire Records. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 because it's found it interesting. It's one of those albums where you have to listen to it a couple of times to appreciate what they're doing. So thanks for watching, Metalheads. Please enjoy this prog rock album by Oblivion Protocol. Stay metal, Metalheads.